Testing, testing, testing. Why would I use this stupid microphone? Because my main one feels too serious. I always try to do things a little differently, and this video will be no exception. Anyways, thanks for being here. God bless and welcome. So here, I'm breaking the serenity of this evening with my voice. My voice, simply a reflection of my mind and my heart. So usually I look at a bunch of stuff on my computer, and there's so much. There's 10,000 things I could say. But oftentimes when I meet a stranger or someone I know without a computer, it's very difficult to explain this research. This research is, in my opinion, easily understood in either photographs or in person, exploring different topics, such as the mud flood. And you know something's weird and ahead of its time when you don't even know how to explain it. Thank God in this little corner of the internet, there's a community of us that do understand this. But anyway, back to a stranger and this research, or trying to explain it. What is the right place to jump in? In my opinion, I think it's the mud flood. What a stupid term, but it's what we have, it's what we understand. A very crude description of some event in which we see evidence of throughout the realm. This becomes one of the first questions, and we have very poor explanations, according to the mainstream, why entire levels are buried in the ground. If we see this evidence throughout the realm, we have to conclude that this is a worldwide phenomenon. Some flood or depositing of water took place and buried a floor up to 10 feet. And again, if it was just in one city or town, country, but it's everywhere, in every city, town and country. We even see ruins and entire cities underwater. Now again, in this exercise, I don't have a computer, which adds a buffer to this research. One might just dismiss everything I've said without looking into it, and we get a lot of that. People dismissing the evidence before even looking into it. All people throughout the realm, all cultures, have a flood story. The difference is, it's supposed to have happened a long time ago. And what we see is the next part of the equation. The mud flood happens at the end of an era of a highly sophisticated architectural style, the peak of a civilization now buried. This architectural style is its own rabbit hole. The style is found in mud, but yet the style is beyond what we should be able to build in the time period or periods that were given for the construction dates of this architecture, seen again throughout the realm, worldwide, corner to corner. Million square foot buildings going up in a year, everywhere, at the beginning, with horse and wagon as the means of transportation and delivery of all said materials used in the construction of everything. Some things perhaps on boat, but once you reach land you need horse and wagon to move glass, stone, bricks, wood, cement. Everything exists. The metals, the tech, the over-the-top tech on all the buildings, which we are told are for lightning and sometimes weather monitoring. Everything is perfect. Cities are laid out in perfect symmetry, buildings built with exceptional detail. In the case with the world's fairs, up to 200 buildings per fair, built within a year, only to be demolished. And everything is built out in this similar style. Maybe you have 5 styles overall. A type of Gothic, a Greco-Roman, a Moorish. Everything else is just a hybrid of these styles. Just BS names given, really. Like neoclassical, or new old, or Beaux-Arts, beautiful arts, Richardsonian, Romanesque, just Romanesque. The architect, Richardson, seems to have been a joke. So what does this mean? Again, here I am talking to someone on the street, hypothetically. So, what do you make videos on? Oh, well, it appears that there was a great cataclysm 150 years ago that covered the realm with 5 to 15 feet of mud. Most of the people appear to have been wiped out, but somehow someone repopulated and re-educated and jump-started this system, writing themselves into history and favoring all the positions of power. Still ruling to this day, all the infrastructure has been left from the previous civilization. There was more than we needed. Much of it has been torn down and destroyed. What remains has been repurposed and redesignated for different uses that suit these people of power. Wow, that's crazy. I know. I've said it before, but if it's true, it seems respectable, honorable, what they've done. I mean, if everything was wiped out and they got things going again, that's pretty impressive. I think anyone would agree. Setting up human farms. Part that is not honorable is lying about it and telling us that our history is a continuation from the scientific perspective, a continuation from Monkey, from a religious perspective, a continuation from Noah and the Great Flood. And I think there's a lot of truth that is revealed in not only the Bible, but all the texts of the old world, of all people. The problem is they're all far, far removed. It's like some old, distant, almost forgotten memory. Just a fragment of the story carries on, but yet it carries on with all people. I think when we do this research, one quickly discovers that there's not just this one reset. Yes, there's this event with the mud in these more recent buildings, but there's also evidence of larger events, plasma, fire, much more destructive events that turn the realm into mountains, or what look like mountains. Again, referring to the Bible, shall melt like wax. And we have evidence of that. And this seems to have happened long before the mud flood and this past event, within the last 150 years. So anyway, somebody or a group jumpstarts things. And who knows, perhaps it's the church, perhaps the continuation of the Roman or Byzantine Empire. Perhaps it's whoever was in control in the north. What do we know? Who's explored the landmass, the 4 continents around Mount Meru? If you were in charge, would you really live amongst the masses? So many land masses have disappeared from what we can see on the older maps. And perhaps these people who have jump-started things again were aware of this, perhaps planning this. But what a monumental plan. But again, somebody would know. So this is way overboard, I think. Here, this was just an experiment to see if I could share this information with a stranger. I think I've failed. Now, let's take it in another direction. I've recently had complaints about my microphone. Maybe it has dust in it. Anyway, I ordered a new one. It should be here soon. Here I just typed in buried city discovered. Like just someone randomly searching for something. Here we see archaeologists find a lost golden city buried under the sand for 3,400 years. There we go. Really looking good too. I mean, most houses are just shacks compared to the ruins that we see. And we call our homes stick-built, and they are just sticks. Even the story of the 3 pigs, all the houses were shit, except for the brick one. And this resembles brick. Of course, it also resembles mud, and we'll be told it's just stupid mud. But no, there's mud all around it. This held up. It was just mud. It would return to mud. Anyway, this is an old city outside of Luxor, dating back to the grandfather of King Tut. There you go. And that's all that archaeologists do. Just uncover buried cities. The science of unearthing buried cities. And I'm sure these guys put 2 and 2 together. At least the guys with the boots on the ground. Here again, a little look at block work. And also finding some people here and some pottery. And they say this is a cow. Maybe it's a dog man. And here's some artwork. And here in the jungle, scientists just discovered a Mayan city buried deep in the jungle. The ancient town comes with pyramids, buildings, stone columns, and a ball field. Everything but the hot dogs. And here we go. Buried. Using LiDAR, they discovered this city in the Yucatan Peninsula. And when we look at old maps, we see all of this built out. It's not shocking. Cities all throughout North, Mid, and South America. And here's just a little peek. Here we can see an underground city found in Turkey, Cappadocia, Turkey. One of our favorites to look at. Here they don't want us to see that. And really this is a building. I mean, no doubt. This is a cooked out building. Not a famous site, but one of my favorites. And this is another part of Turkey. Darren Kuyu. What a poor picture, but you can get an idea of this complex underground network found here. And this almost reminds me of an ark. And this is the kind of place that the controllers would occupy. I'm sure many like this exist. And these could simply be buildings, elevator shafts, floors, now submerged under the earth. And they had it all. Wells, ventilation. And yeah, here as you can see the underground city that was found in Turkey. Surprise! Oh. You found a city today? Yes. The cow fell in a hole, and we found a city in the hole. As you can see, there's a water table down here. Here, even Wikipedia gives us a page. Lost City. A lost city is an urban settlement that fell into decline and became uninhabited. Thank you. With the consequence that the site's former significance was no longer known to the wider world. The locations of many lost cities have been forgotten, but some have been rediscovered and studied extensively, sometimes called ghost towns, abandoned cities. So here we go. Great little showcase. We start out with Machu Picchu, discovered in 1911, rediscovered the ruins. This man, Hiram, I don't know. But anyway, we're glad somebody rediscovered them. And really over the top. I don't think we appreciate these ruins. I think we're kind of sick of them. And yet we've never really completely appreciated them. Look how advanced this is. Similar to Native American ruins, we're always taught a kind of dumbed down version of history. Like this was primitive, and even when we see a complete, finished, proposed picture of what it may have looked like, it's always very primitive. But actually this is very advanced. Look at these stone triangle sections. I mean, these are stone trusses used in most houses, usually made out of wood or steel on a large building. But here we have some excellent supports, and even up here on the level behind it. So this was just some massive structure. This is no joke, and we're just seeing the bones. All of this, just bones. Terraced levels. I mean, feats of engineering here. And just the bones. Down here we see more supports, and just discovered, just abandoned. Where did they go? So here we see the ruins in Colombia. Here we see some ancient Greek city, totally buried. Looks like about 6 feet. And this is just the top. And here we have lost cities by continent. This, we're told, was the capital in Egypt. And here we go. Lost people. And look at that thing. This column, and here just a little quarter of a column. Can you imagine? This is just the footprint. If these were the columns, here are the steps, level, a little chunk of column here. Unbelievable. Statues in ruins. I mean, really rough shape, really cooked out here. And somehow a little bit was preserved. And just a bunch, of course, in Egypt. Not too surprising. Here's a place called Tanis or Teni. Really beautiful, flowering, fountaining column tops here. Just gorgeous. Obelisks, anyone? Obelisks? Ice cream? Wolf nibble chips? Get them while they're hot. I mean, come on. The size just scattered. Everything like junk. Lost and discovered. Really cool. And here in Algeria, I've told you my father was born in Algeria in a city called Oran. But this is not Oran. This is Timgad. So here we go, again, just the bones, and the bones are absolutely superior. Again, this is a lost people. No progression or upkeeping of the city, no. Just wiped out and abandoned. And then amnesia, rediscovered. Pretty unbelievable. Columns back here as well. And you can see no trees grow because it's a little concrete and brick jungle from the past. Something that would have been very beautiful, and now shit. Here again, one little peak, and really looking like Civil War North American ruins in a sense. Many cities will have been discovered in this condition. This is pretty unbelievable. Look how massive these two columns are here compared to the others, which are massive as well in their own right. This will have been a giant building here. Just here. Something like a Capitol building. Some dome. But anyway, here we go. Algeria. Again, a little peek at Algeria. Here a little Corinthian in rough shape. Here as well, some very large columns, almost Baalbekian, some blockage underneath, and these will all be sections. This is really fascinating because I was hiking today and I found stones like this with the ridges, and for the first time I thought I was certainly seeing sections of columns, and this is bringing it back to the front of my mind. I'll try to interject a picture of that. Oh, Leptis Magna. I love Leptis Magna. A Roman city located in present-day Libya. Here we go, just a quickie. A little peek at this place, just the ruins. Again, can you imagine? Just the ruins. The floor is tiles. Again, nothing can grow here. And we can see the makeup of the columns. Pretty much a solid piece with a hole in the center. And look at the condition of this building. Some parts in better condition than others. Very detailed columns in really strange condition. Okay, why don't we jump to Africa? Built between 500 and 300 BC. A 5th century Byzantine Christian basilica, excavated in 1914, yet built in BC. Here we go, great shape. Really reminding me of the Mormon temple when they excavated. There was like 30 feet of this step blockage. And here you go. Here's the top, ground level, and it looks like we're just getting started here. Here an underground passage from 800 BC. Of course, they're just giving us backstories to all of this. A tomb entrance discovered in 1965. There you go, a tomb. So what part is the tomb? And what you can see is that this has just survived. It's fusing in to all of this material and is essentially a melted structure. An abandoned city in Mongolia, built in 1032, described in the travels of Marco Polo, Karakoto. And here we can see Karakoto. Look at these structures poking out of the sand, and other structures poking out of the sand. And why did this survive? Here we see a tomb in this area. And here we go. This is in Mongolia. And look how similar these pictures look to the pictures in the Sudan desert. Unbelievable. Look at this. And he doesn't even bother. He just pitched a tent out here. This is so old and cooked out. Here there was a dome on top, and you can see the condition is much better on the inside here. And anyway, Mongolia, Tartar land, now cooked. And we've looked at stuff in Turkmenistan before, but here's an old lost city. You see another one of these structures back here, and look at this. Really reminding me of the structure we were just looking at that was all cooked out in Mongolia. But this one is in better condition. This one's showing us what the structure will have looked like. Here we see an opening on this side. And again, something very similar back here. It's been absolutely devastated, almost returning to a mud look up here, except we still see some color and some decorative patterning. Really, really advanced for just being out here in the bush. This is, again, in their abandoned city, just discovered showcase. Konye Urgench. Super cool. How about Xanadu? So they've rediscovered Xanadu in China. Let's have a little look at the ruins of Xanadu, made famous by Olivia Newton-John. Look it up if you've never heard the song. And here again, we see it on this old map. Xanadu. How about India? I love stuff in India. Here we go. And really looking like Native American sites. Looking like Chaco Canyon. Everything looking like everything, really. Just they have different stories and dates and timelines attached to everything. But I would beg to differ. This is all more closely related than we're told. Well, I think that's all I've got this week. It seems like it ended abruptly. Anyway, I love you all. God bless, and I'll see you soon.